Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at our picks for the hits that are indebted to other older songs for inspiration, yet whose popularity has endured beyond the OG. Down Under, Men at Work. Original, Kookaburra, Lyric and Music. They say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but a caveat to that saying might also be watch from where you steal your musical inspiration.
Traveling in a fried-out combi on a hippie trailhead full of zombies.
Greg Ham and his bandmates from Men at Work found this out the hard way when it came to light that Ham, the band's flautist, nicked a bit of the Australian children's tune Kookaburra for the group's smash Down Under.
Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he.
It took until the mid-2000s for the similarities between the two songs to come to light via a television quiz show. At that point, the publishers of Kookaburra, Lyric and Music, successfully sued for back royalties to the tune of 5%. Oh, and did we mention that these royalties were backdated to 2002? Ouch. The Bad Touch, Bloodhound Gang. Original, In the Night, Pet Shop Boys. It isn't so much popularity that's at the center of this entry, but rather obscurity.
Sweat, baby, sex is a Texas drought. Me and you do the kind of stuff that only Prince would sing about.
There's no denying that synth-pop icons Pet Shop Boys have a much greater legacy than comedy rockers the Bloodhound Gang.
You've had enough of two-hand touch, you want it rough, you're out of bounds.
That said, the comparative obscurity of this Pet Shop Boys B-side, In the Night, made it easy sample fodder for the gang. Their hit The Bad Touch does a great job at sampling the original's beat, while adding an infectiously electronic pop vibe of their very own. This, combined with The Bad Touch's legendarily silly video, proved to be a recipe for MTV's success.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel.
Surfin' USA, Beach Boys. Original, Sweet Little 16, Chuck Berry. The publishing history of the Beach Boys' Surfin' USA is nothing if not a long and strange trip.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA.
Songwriters Brian Wilson and Mike Love openly admit to having swiped the arrangement of Chuck Berry's Sweet Little 16 for their hit, although they initially neglected to credit Berry as a composer.
All over St. Louis, way down in New Orleans.
Yet the song was still published under Berry's company, with sources alleging that the Beach Boys' father/manager Murray did so under duress.
We'll all be planning out a route we're gonna take real soon.
Whatever the case, Surfin' USA has endured as an icon of the era for quite a bit longer than Berry's hit. It's just another example of the Beach Boys' chaotic careers as pop music megastars.
Yeah, everybody's gonna surfing, surfing USA.
I Got a Feeling, Black Eyed Peas. Original, Take a Dive, Brian Pringle. Here's a question. Does it matter if a song has been legally cleared of plagiarism if the similarities remain evident to the naked ear?
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night.
Intention certainly matters, and it's unclear if the Black Eyed Peas had actually heard the dance mix of Brian Pringle's Take a Dive prior to writing their hit, I Got a Feeling. The Wikipedia entry for the song lists Pringle as a sample source, and in 2010, the Peas were sued for copyright infringement.
Tonight's the night, hey, let's live it up. Let's live it up. I got my money, hey, let's spin it up.
However, Pringle had only copyrighted the original version of Take a Dive, and not the dance mix. The case was ultimately decided in favor of Will.i.am and Company. But what do you think?
That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night.
Shake It Off, Taylor Swift. Original, Play As Gon' Play, 3LW.
I say I'm too late. Got nothing in my brain.
There are many perils that come along with fame. not the least of which is other artists attempting to piggyback upon another's success.
'Cause the player's gonna play, and the hater's gonna hate.
This seems to be the reason why a plagiarism case was thrown out against Taylor Swift by the songwriters behind 3LW's millennial hit Players Gon' Play.
Players, they gon' play, and haters, they gonna hate.
Those composers, Sean Hall and Nathan Butler, claimed that Swift ripped them off within the lyrical arrangement to Shake It Off. Swift, in a statement, claimed that she'd never heard the song and wasn't even allowed to watch MTV's Total Request Live during 3LW's heyday.
Shake, 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 shake it off, shake it off, shake it off.
All You Need Is Love, The Beatles. Original, In the Mood, Glenn Miller. The Beatles were at the height of their psychedelic and experimental powers during the release of All You Need Is Love in 1967. The composition of this song, as a result, is full of different snippets from popular musical artists, including In the Mood by Glenn Miller. The latter's big band jazz hit emerges near the end of All You Need Is Love, and it's clear that the Beatles are intentionally utilizing this sample for dramatic effect.
All you need is love. All together. All you need is love.
This also serves as something of a changing of the guard, however, a moment of major cultural shift. Glenn Miller's dancehall jazz was now being seen as a quaint relic, while the Beatles pushed for the justification of a youth culture that could change the world.
Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Crocodile Rock, Elton John. Original, Speedy Gonzalez, Pat Boone. The case of Crocodile Rock is another where the songwriters and performers seem to know what they were doing.
I remember when Rock was young. Me and Susie had so much fun.
Bernie Taupin and Sir Elton John admit that the tune was a nostalgic throwback to rock and roll tropes of their youth. Meanwhile, the composers of a forgotten novelty hit titled Speedy Gonzalez came calling 2 years after the release of Crocodile Rock, claiming they were ripped off.
Speedy Gonzales, why don't you come home?
Their claim that Taupin and John adapted similar chords was eventually settled out of court, while the Pat Boone version of Speedy that charted back in '62 is largely left to the dustbin of history. Dazed and Confused, Led Zeppelin. Original, Dazed and Confused, Jake Holmes. One doesn't need to be a rock historian to understand that Led Zeppelin ripped off a lot of songs.
Been dazed and confused for so long, it's not true.
It's just one of the band's infamous legacies, but Led Zepp was effectively caught red-handed with Jake Holmes' Dazed and Confused.
I'm being abused, I'd be better off dead. I can't stand this tease and I'm starting to crack.
Sure, it took until 2010 for justice to be served, but versions of the song today list the composition credit as Jimmy Page, inspired by Jake Holmes.
Every day I work so hard, bringing home my heart and pain. Try to love you, baby, but you push me away.
That's because Page admits that he heard Holmes perform the tune before adapting it for his old band, the Yardbirds, and eventually bringing Dazed and Confused with him to Led Zeppelin.
I really want you to know, baby. I really want you to understand.
Paradise City, Guns N' Roses. Original, Zero the Hero, Black Sabbath. Maybe Guns N' Roses figured that Black Sabbath's 1983 LP Born Again was far enough removed from their glory days to be ripped off. Or perhaps GNR didn't think the Sunset Strip glam metal fans would notice the riff similarities between the former's Paradise City and the Sab's Zero the Hero. Sure, the Sabbath version is a bit darker, but the groove is remarkably similar, and also taken from around the same era. Fast forward to 1995, and Rocket from the Crypt's On a Rope seem to have the same idea. But you know what? We see you guys, and Sabbath does too. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Creep, Radiohead. Original, The Air That I Breathe, The Hollies. This song is a veritable spaghetti bowl of tangled rights claims and plagiarism accusations.
When you were here before, couldn't look you in the eye.
Radiohead had to forsake a portion of their songwriting to Albert Hammond and Mike Hazelwood, who wrote The Air That I Breathe back in 1972. That song was a hit for the Hollies in '74, while the members of Radiohead fully copped to utilizing this inspiration during the composition of Creep.
But I'm a creep. I'm a widow.
This admission makes it seem strange that the band would then contact Lana Del Rey for her song Get Free,
Colors used to lure you in and put you in a trance.
which they claimed ripped off Creep. Or is that Creep and The Air That I Breathe? We're so confused.
I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
They call it the music business for a reason. But what are your thoughts about copyright, plagiarism, and music law? Let us know in the comments. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.